Yeah, hello.
Good morning, Elena.
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me okay?
Thanks. Thanks to everything okay. I ask you to share your slides. You are talking, of course, about artificial intelligence and software testing.
That is correct. That is correct. All right, give me a couple of seconds to share my screen.
Allora, Elena è program manager di Exactpro e porterà insomma anche lei una testimonianza rispetto alla tematica che abbiamo approfondito nel corso di questa mattinata.
Right.
We can see it, just you have to put them in full screen.
Okay. All right, is it better now?
Okay, thanks.
Okay. First of all, thank you so much for the introduction. I represent Exactpro. We are an independent software testing business. We provide software testing services, meaning functional, non-functional testing services for financial market infrastructure. So this is our focus. We've been in the market since 2009, and now we currently employ over 700 people all over the world. I represent our entity in the US. A couple of words on my background. So it's quite interesting, but my background is not exactly in software testing, or it's not so technical at all. I started my career in general and applied linguistics. I started as a linguistic database engineer, and then I got my PhD in general in theoretical linguistics in 2012 and 2012. And then 5 years ago, I decided to transition to the domain of software testing, and I got my first position with Exactpro, which was the one in software testing. Currently, I'm a program manager at the company, and I'm responsible for research, for communication strategy, and as my company values education and research a lot, I'm also a part of different educational initiatives when they take place. So let me move to the topic of today's discussion. And apparently this is something that relates to the domain of artificial intelligence and software testing, with a focus on how we educate the software testers of new era, in this interdisciplinary field. So it is evident that present-day software testing specialists need to keep up with the trend of AI becoming more and more popular and infiltrating actually very different knowledge domains. So how we can educate them so that they obtain deep technical knowledge and skills in both testing AI systems and applying artificial intelligence to test traditional systems as well. Yes, another point I wanted to highlight, that here it is quite part of the problem is solved with something that is inherently associated with the profession, the ability to learn, the ability to constantly improve your knowledge and learn new things. So that's why I believe this is a perfect ground for a software tester to embark on this journey. So how exactly do we educate the new generation of software testers? In the context of AI claiming its place on the technological landscape, there is lots of information available in the industry, And here on this slide, I highlighted like several ideas, several main sources of how people can obtain information and educate themselves in several possible ways. So I'd like to take a look at some of the examples of each types of these educational courses. So one of them is pretty I would say it's not that straightforward, because this is about like general education. This is about pursuing the university program. So it's not that I'm in favor of that. In order to become professional software tester, you have to get a certain university degree. No, I'm not actually showing that. And the idea behind this picture, which was provided, by the way, in the most recent AI index report, which was published just a couple of months ago. So it clearly shows that the industry is moving in such a direction that we can witness the growing number of students in the specialization of artificial intelligence and machine learning. And I believe this is just a strong indicator of the overall background in artificial intelligence and machine learning. And there is really a need to match. It is not mandatory for a tester, but it is an indirect indication of the knowledge that is required to work with the systems of this type. So moving to the other sources of information. Here, I would like to highlight that a very good help came from the ISTQB community, and it was a very nice and timely response to the trend. After Alliance of Qualification, Artificial Intelligence United, Chinese and Korean software testing qualification boards each created their syllabi in 2019. There was a very big initiative to merge this huge knowledge base and create an ISTQB syllabus, even more full, even more comprehensive. And I wouldn't again delve into the specifics of this certification, because I believe this has been done right before me. So just a couple of thoughts on how we can complement this impressive body of knowledge. So first of all, this syllabus contains like a huge fundamentals part regarding the AI in general. Apologies. Yeah. AI in general, so that's a great knowledge base on the domain. But I would say that there is still a certain imbalance between the part about testing AI systems, which are, of course, covered really extensively here, and a part about using AI applied to software testing as a practice. So what else about this course? Yes, also a very nice idea of like using this resource is that they suggest to have hands-on practice, and they provide some suggestions for the tasks. And this is very nice, and this is something that is really needed in education of software testers. However, in order to make this education full, I believe that the new syllabus is not something that should like succeed something that was done before. And I would like to highlight the FAQ syllabus that provides a very good distinction in this respect, and it highlights highlighting the areas of limitations when we can apply artificial intelligence methods and techniques to the task of software testing, and where we cannot do that. So this is very nice part in the previous syllabus as well. Yeah. So moving to other sources of information that are important in the task of educating software testers who work in artificial intelligence domain. So first of all, the knowledge base can be expanded with the research available on the market. So first of all, it's market research, which is reported in form of artificial intelligence index. It's a very famous one of the leading reports in the industry. And another one is also an annual one, and the most recent one was published in the fall last year. So it's an annual thing. So we expect the new one to come this October, but the recent one can be accessible online. Other than using some information, some research that is available in form of the reports, a very nice idea could be to take a look at scientific research, at academic publications. So, and in this respect, of course, there is like a boom in terms of how many publications right now can be found on the topic, on both artificial intelligence as a domain, and of course on software testing, on both aspects of software testing, like testing AI systems, applying artificial intelligence in testing. So of course, the amount is huge, but just wanted to highlight this one research because it provides a very comprehensive survey on what is actually done in the whole area. So it may be a very good starting point, and as well as a source of references of literature that can be read in order to get even more understanding. Yet another source of information is technical standards, and here there is a standard that is apparently, of course, referenced in the syllabi on artificial intelligence and software testing. So this standard is actually presented in the form of technical report, and it deals with software testing applied to AI. So it is software testing of artificial intelligence systems. So this document provides a great overview of testing activities with different areas of AI, like from environment to underlying data to the model, which lies in the core of the AI system. It also outlines the test types that can be used for testing artificial intelligence, like different stages, levels of testing. So it's a lot of information there, lots of guidance and recommendation. Just again, one limitation, it's focused. It's entirely focused on testing artificial intelligence and using AI for software testing, including like traditional systems, is out of this document's scope, but still a very nice way. Another source of information is more activity-like, and here there are some courses, there are some initiatives in the academic community that are organized in order to familiarize the students with the problem. And last year, the IEEE community held a very interesting initiative that was called Autonomous Driving AI Test Challenge. And this challenge was an extension of artificial intelligence testing conference the series that started in 2019, and this year it's happening for the fourth time, unfortunately without the challenge part, but still last year was a nice beginning, and I hope that the initiative will continue to be held. So last year we were a part of it, and we are looking forward to participating in something similar in the future. What else I wanted to highlight in this respect is that, of course, learning the knowledge base and getting to know real-world AI systems is fundamental to this tester's skill set. However, it is just a part of the effort, and equal, or if not more important, is the mindset of the tester that is needed in order to succeed in the software testing practice. So, and here there are a couple of points that I think that should be taught to software testers in relation to a mindset. So quite ironically, some very nice points regarding software testers' mindset can be taken from the books that are not exactly on software testing. So the first one suggests an idea of extreme ownership, and here the book tries to deliver the idea that it is the managers who always assume extreme ownership of every situation. So it is extreme responsibility that that belongs to the stakeholders of the project, to the leaders, whereas the people in the lower parts of the chain of the command, they are responsible for the information that goes up the chain of command. So each and every element in any project has its own responsibilities. The second book conveys the idea of a scout mindset. So it is a very interesting concept, and it is about the motivation to see things as they are, not as you wish they were. And if we extrapolate this to software testing, we should always remember that software testers are not responsible for quality assurance. Quality assurance, this is something that is the responsibility of like CEO, the CTO, some stakeholders rather than testers. And when we speak about the responsibility of software testers, it is the responsibility and extreme ownership of the testing process, of the informational service that they provide, the information about defects and the real state and behavior of the system under test. In order to fill this gap, to unite the knowledge base needed to provide hands-on experience on real-world artificial intelligence systems, and to convey most important ideas about the mindset of software tester, we at Exactpro also have tried such an initiative. So we created an online course, and this course was inspired by the challenge that I've just mentioned. So as we supported this challenge, we decided to also give it a try to go ahead and organize such a course. It was a good educational initiative, first of all, for us, for the instructors, but hopefully our participants also enjoyed it and learned something. And in some fundamental things, this course is in line with basics of AI, its quality characteristics, associated challenges, but also I would like to highlight a couple of points that we tried to deliver specifically in this course. Speaking of those, a very important part of the course was delivered in the theoretical block. related to foundations of software testing. And here we shared our idea about the mindset that is important for each and every software tester, be it software testing specialist that is working in the area of artificial intelligence systems, or maybe he's the one working in the area of traditional systems. It actually doesn't matter, because this mindset should be shared by both. So when we speak about software testing as a discipline, the first question about it is about the essence of software testing. What it is, like, is it art, is it craft, or maybe it's science? And if you look across different data scattered around the internet, you can find that actually there are many variants, and all of them can be correct. We can see it in publications and titles of books and titles of research papers. So it's a very interesting research on its own. But if we define software testing from the perspective of its purpose, then the best understanding would be that it is an information service. So we find software defects, and we inform the stakeholders about the real state and behavior of the system under test. In this respect, software testing is really close to science. In fact, software testing is mentioned in the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy among fact-finding practices in modern societies. And this is something along with that goes along with science. Yet another reference to a book that is again not about software testing, but in this book by Eric Drexler, a very important idea of the flows of information is shared, and this idea is about that science and engineering are presented as anti-parallel process, with the information flows going actually in different directions, from mental representation to a product, if we take the engineering part, and from the product to its mental representation, to its mental model, if we take the part of the scientific research. Again, trying to extrapolate to software testing, the same is true about the relationship between software development and software testing. These two activities are parallel in terms of the process flow, because developers and testers are working from the project inception to the go live, and in this respect they are parallel, and they are anti-parallel in terms of information flow. So when we test, we provide the information, like feed the information back into the loop, and it is very important to align those two anti-parallel flows of information. First, important things, and this is maybe one of the important things to form, to adopt by the software testers mindset. We provide information service, and the value of this information is measured by its relevance. So we need to optimize the feedback loop, and this feedback loop and flow of information should be working continuously, providing near-time updates and deeper analysis continuously. So in the real time, but with different speeds. Of course, some shallow testing should be done continuously, and short updates should be done like each and every couple of minutes, maybe. And some deeper analysis should be provided on a daily basis. And this process should be organized in several levels. Another thing that is fundamental for the software testing mindset is apparently the concept of non-determinism. As we all know, this is a term, and this is a concept which is mostly associated with artificial intelligence systems. And this is something that clearly outlined in all the sources that I mentioned previously as specific to AI systems. What we try to convey in our course is that it's not necessarily so, because when we work with real world traditional systems, not AI-based systems, but if we work with like industrial real world implementations of complex technology, it's not always like so, the behavior is not always so deterministic. So if it is a distributed complex system, we also should apply the same approach as it is recommended for actually artificial intelligence systems. So we need every tester understand that complexity, and that this complexity and non-deterministic behavior should not be underestimated in traditional systems. So something else to highlight in the course as well is the part about, so we call it build software to test software. And the reason behind this title is that this is motto of Exactpro as a company. So this is what we do. We create test the framework for test automation, for automation in software testing. So the question of the tools is also a very important one. And I believe this is also a very important part of creating the right mindset in software testers. Among other things, we also discuss the requirements to the tool set that helps the tester create like the right foundation for his activity. First of all, we discussed the role of automation, and here what is important for the tester's mindset is understanding that it is an intelligent process. So testing is some intelligent effort, and tools can be used to enhance, to augment the capabilities of a human tester that he uses to explore a system, to test a system, but not to replace their analytical skills. And apologies, so let me go back to the previous slide. And yet another important idea is that when we test complex systems, we should remember then that using the tools of equal sophistication is a must. So we cannot test a very complex system with a very simple software testing tool. And by the way, deviating and getting back to the artificial intelligence systems, it is sometimes it happens that one complex system can be used to test another complex system. And here the example that is depicted on the slide illustrates the simulation programs that were used in the challenge for artificial intelligence and autonomous driving. So yet another block to highlight is the theoretical part about application programming interface, or API. So we decided to stop and highlight this topic as well, just because it is from the point of view of program, we need to understand how a human being is represented. So here we try to explain that in the context of artificial intelligence being incorporated in most of systems nowadays, so the result is the emergence of hybrid systems, And these hybrid systems are interconnected with each other through the APIs. And we believe that this is an important part of learning, of educating the software testers in this domain. So conscious of the time, I will not speak about this further, just a small, maybe small point about something that we also provided in practice. And as I said, one of the important things to educate software testers in the area of artificial intelligence is providing him or her with the experience with the real world software of this type. And here we also had some practical insights into that. The last part that I wanted to highlight in relation to this course, it is also very important to provide the information, to provide the knowledge about what is the interrelation between reliability and safety, software defects and metrics that are obtained through the process of software testing. And another very important concept here is the relation between testing coverage and the liability in software testing. And apparently here we can say that it's a lot of regulation that was published. And this is an area, this is a domain that is still being explored. There are no final decisions about this, but still we, when we talk about software testing for artificial intelligence, this is something that we should take in mind. And this is something that we should analyze from the software testing perspective and from the perspective of our responsibility as testers when looking at this complex technology. So, and here I provide very nice reference on the article by Cam Kainer, where he actually quite an old article of his, but it is still relevant. And in this work, he discusses the concept of software negligence and how testing coverage is associated with this, how we can decide between the costs to prevent defects and the costs of the error. So drawing closer to the conclusion, we, of course, need some more foundation, and it is perfectly provided by the ISTQB syllabus, by research papers, technical standards, industry reports. Everything is important because it presents different aspects of the information. The knowledge base should be complemented with foundations of software testing in general. And here it is an absolutely correct decision to pass the AI certification after the foundation level one. And moreover, the more generic IT basics should also be covered, like APIs, just because AI is typically an integral part of complex hybrid multimodal systems. Real-world examples of AI systems are needed to provide understanding of real complexity levels and non-determinism in the system's behavior. But most important, and most important is the mindset of software testing, who deals with artificial intelligence, be it again testing AI or using AI for software testing. First of all, they should have an open mind for continuous learning. They should understand the purpose of testing, their responsibility scope, it is also very important to explain to them the danger of underestimating the complexity of traditional software. And finally, the testers should understand their value in the intellectual process of obtaining the information about system under test and view test automation as just a means to augment their testing capability rather than something that helps them delegate the task to the machines. And in this respect, software testing, AI and software testing education should be viewed as like complementing areas, one within another. So we need to provide some information, some education about testing AI systems and using AI for testing only in context of some fundamental principles of software testing, because these are crucial for forming the tester's mindset. So this is all from my side. So thank you. And if you have questions, I will be delighted to answer
Thanks to
them.
you, Elena. The question is about the possibility that we see a new profession in the field of software testing related, focused on the testing of AI systems rather than the AI specialist applied to software testing.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the question. Well, I still believe that in this respect, it is more about broader expertise rather than a new profession. Again, I believe that the specific mindset and specific skill set of software testing specialists in the area of AI should heavily rely on software testing practices and principles that exist in traditional software testing. Of course, some new things, some specifics are needed in terms of the tooling, in terms of methodologies of testing. So maybe some specific types of testing, like combinatorial testing, back-to-back testing, metamorphic testing. So this is something that we will be using more with artificial intelligence testing. But I wouldn't say that this is a completely new profession, because the principles that are fundamental for real software testing, this is something that lies in the core and it's already here. So.
Okay. So sharing some competencies and also some skills. No? Ok. Allora, diciamo siamo in perfetto timing, direi. So, quindi io ringrazio tutti i relatori. Thanks for all our speakers for joining us.